Alright, I think that's enough. I don't think anyone else, I think that's enough time. So we're gonna get started. Alright. Put that down. Alright, so. Alright, let me put this like that. Let me turn this off. Welcome everyone inside the chat. Good Sunday evening 4 people in, 4 likes, so everyone's hopefully hit the like button at this time. All right. So let's get started. We're a bit late today, but we're not gonna cancel or do anything like that, so we should be fine. All right, let's get started. Good Sunday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I am the host for South Carolina Weather, Jesse Peterson, and let's talk about the weather for your Sunday evening. Now, looking at the radar right now, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for a bunch of people, for Chester, Lancaster, Great Falls, Winnsboro, Bethune, McBee, Kershaw, and Ridgeway inside of South Carolina. That lasts for like another 30 minutes or so. This does come with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and a quarter-inch in diameter hail. We can check out the velocity values, and especially just to the north of Richburg, near Lando and Edgemoor, is where we're receiving those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with these storms as they move through. So that could definitely cause some damage as well. But if you're on the Chester side, you may see like some gusty winds. The radar isn't really picking up on much right now, but the radar can always be wrong. With these, but definitely up here near the I-77, Lando, Richburg, and Edgemoor regions is where we're seeing those high wind gusts of up to 60 miles an hour, and that will push down, getting to like Lancaster, Winnsboro, Ridgeway, Bethune, and McBee as well. And then in terms of hail, as well, we can move on to the current hail. You can see that according to the MRMS, it's scanning for hail, and it's not really seeing any type of hail. So according to the National Weather Service, they're seeing hail. So we'll see what happens in terms of those. We'll see if any hail reports does form, and if it does, well, then that means that the MRMS was wrong. So in terms of South Carolina's radar right now for current conditions, not really much right now. We just have those showers and storms up there near Rock Hill and Lancaster. Everyone else, though, is looking pretty good, though, especially to the southern and east and western portion of South Carolina. If we move on to the winter weather radar, you can see we do have some rain up here inside of the northeast as well. This does come with downpours as well, even into North Carolina and Virginia, as well as down there in Florida, and over here inside of Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi, as well as Tennessee. We're seeing some rain, some storms there as well, with some heavy downpours going through Oklahoma and Texas. Same thing with New Mexico, Colorado, and the Rockies, pretty much all of the Rockies. And then the western portion of the United States. We also have severe thunderstorm watches that goes from Alabama all the way up into Mississippi and Arkansas. If we move on to our current cloud cover right now, we have some heavy cloud cover, especially where those storms are pretty much near the Charlotte and Rock Hill, Lancaster regions as well. And surrounding that, we do have some lighter clouds, and again, not really much, but just a bit lighter than usual. In terms of cloud cover. Here is our cloud cover total percentage. Move this forward, you can see that the cloud cover will continue as we get into the night hours, and then as we get into tomorrow morning, almost everyone in the state will be covered by cloud cover as we go into tomorrow morning. So it's going to be a pretty cloudy day tomorrow. And so that should hopefully reduce some of the temperatures tomorrow, if you think it's a bit too hot out there. Current temperatures right now, though, 86 in Columbia, 84 in Charleston, 86 in Savannah, 84 in Myrtle Beach, 89 in Orangeburg and Augusta, as well as 80 in Greenville, 84 in Anderson, and 80 inside of Rock Hill as well. Here's our low temperatures for tonight. Around 73 in Columbia, 76 in Charleston, 78 in Hilton Head, 75 in Myrtle Beach, 73 in Georgetown, 68 in Rock Hill, Spartanburg, as well as Lauren, 69 in Greenville and Greenwood. Here's our forecasted precipitation for the next 24 or so hours. We do have the chance to see some pretty influential rain go through most of the state today. Around 1/100 of an inch and 1/10 of an inch is the main thing that mainly almost everyone's watching out for if you're inside the light green. But if you're inside that little darker hint of green, you have the chance to see 1/10 of an inch to maybe even 1/4 of an inch of rain. And especially if you're near like Rock Hill, where that thunderstorm is producing rain right now. If I was to go look at the radar right now, y'all can't see it, but if I'm looking at the radar right now, And if I was to look at the storm total precipitation, this is how much rain has fallen since the storm has pretty much continued. Some places have already seen up to 2 inches of rain just to the east of Blacksburg, South Carolina. York has seen around close to an inch. Rock Hill has seen around close to an inch. And I think the high spot that I've seen so far is around 2 inches around. So definitely more rain, but this always does not include storms. This always includes pretty much no storms. It's like if a storm includes inside of if a storm gets going inside of a region, pretty much what happens is they don't really count it on pretty much with that. They just go with what the models say, and the models did not have the storm producing that much rain. That's pretty much what it is, and that's why they didn't put like 2 inches, because we all did not know that storm would produce 2 inches of rain, but obviously it did. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what they report on their observations as well. Here's our day one categorical outlook. We are still under a marginal risk of severe weather, but they did shrink it actually a lot, from northern Dorchester and Berkeley County all the way up into western Horry County and northern Georgetown County as well, all the way up into Columbia, Sumter, Florence, Rock Hill, Augusta as well, still in there. That still does go into our day one four panel discussion. You can see that it's really just a damaging wind threat, not too much of a hail threat at all. If you go and look at tomorrow as well, we are under a marginal risk of severe weather. That does include like from Charleston County all the way down through the Tri-County region, and the entire low country of South Carolina is now inside of the marginal risk of severe weather. This does come with a 5% chance of damaging hail and a 5% chance of damaging winds, and I can show you all that on the models right now, actually. If we move on to the HRRR, and we move our way up, and we go straight to the 18Z, very interesting stuff that I can show you on here. You can see as we push our way back and try to move it forward, you can see that there goes that system that was forecasted to move through the area. Kind of forecasted it pretty well in terms of timing as well. I mean, timing was almost, I'm not going to say it was perfect, but it was almost perfect. Continued pushing that forward. Around 3 o'clock, we may see some downpours over near Seneca, Anderson, and the Greenville region as well. And then that moisture is going to kind of get traded off towards like Myrtle Beach as well. Around 5 o'clock in the morning, y'all can start to see showers and storms. Same thing with Sumter and Camden as well just to the west near McCormick and Greenwood. Around maybe even a good thunderstorm might roll through. Continue to move this forward, more thunderstorm development pops up just to the south of Columbia, near Greenwood, Saluda, and Edgefield, as well as seeing heavy rain as well going through there. And then that heavy precipitation kind of does like a little training effect. Like if you look at Columbia, for example, and you keep on pushing this forward, Columbia is constantly getting rain, probably going from around 7 o'clock in the morning to around 10 o'clock in the morning as well. So we may have to watch out for some flooding concerns as well. I would not be surprised. I don't think we have a day 2 marginal risk of excessive rainfall, but I would not be surprised if we were put in one because of these training thunderstorms and showers moving through the same regions over and over again as well. And then that's not the main threat though. If we continue moving on, here's 1 o'clock. Again, more showers and storms just moving through. And then finally you start to see some more thunderstorms pop up around 3 o'clock, and then you have some maybe with some hailers going through around 4 o'clock down here just to the south of Walterboro. That moves through, goes towards Charleston, Yemassee as well, getting some up there near Ridgeville as well as getting some storms. And then continuing, maybe down there near the Georgia-South Carolina line at 7 o'clock p.m., we may start to see some more storms, and then maybe even a pretty big storm may try to roll through around 9 o'clock tomorrow, and that might go through the Hanahan, Charleston regions as well. So we'll see what happens with that tomorrow night, and then continuing to 12 to 1 a.m., more showers and storms push through the Charleston region again, and then that's pretty much all that I can see. That's pretty much when all the moisture will move off at least. So we're going to move on Talking about excessive rainfall, I did not see a day 2 excessive rainfall. There might be one now. Let's see. That's okay. Day 2, no, nothing for day 2. Go to day 3. We do have a slight risk down there for Florida, but that's from that tropical system that we were watching out for, and we'll show that in just a second. They're under a slight risk of excessive rainfall for day 3, day 4, and day 5. So if you know anybody down here as well that goes from like the Miami, West Palm Beach, Tampa regions, Cape Coral, Melbourne, Palm Bay, anywhere in those regions, let them know that they are under multiple days of excessive rainfall as well. As that storm moves in, some models were even forecasting up to a foot of rain, which is a lot. Even for Florida, that's still a lot of rain. So let them know. Life-threatening flash flooding. If the rain rates are high enough, it could be life-threatening flash flooding that they may have to watch out for. In terms of tropical cyclone activity, it's not expected for the next 48 hours or for the next 7 days. So we're still good on tropical activity. And then here's the GFS model as well. If we push this forward, you can see there goes like a little low pressure forming. It's going to bring, again, that heavy amount of rain to Florida. You can see it there around June the 11th at around 8 o'clock. Then continuing it through some more. Again, it just keeps on raining down on Florida, bringing more and more precipitation as we keep on going through the run. South Carolina, we're still doing pretty well. We do have some scattered showers here and there, but again, it's not really much. And then that low pressure finally wants to try and move northwest and go towards the Mobile, Alabama, and the western panhandle of Florida as well. Might bring some rain as well to places of Louisiana as well. Here's around on June the 17th, somewhere around there. But that heaviest rain seems to be more focused kind of like in the ocean, but inland wise. And around June the 17th, it's going to be falling a lot near the southern portion of Alabama, southern coast of Alabama and Florida as well. And that could be some pretty reoccurring rain as well. And then does another weird thing. It you can see that it's kind of going west-northwest, almost stationary, but then it just turns to the west very abruptly as well. Continuing through, everything else is a bit too far off to talk about, but another tropical system wants to try and hit the Big Bend region of Florida on June the 24th. That can bring some heavy precipitation, maybe some gusty winds with it, and that would definitely bring us some more moisture on the 24th, so we're watching out for that week as well. And then when all of this is said and done, we go around, I say around 300 hours out, and we look at all the precipitation that has fallen. Florida down here has gotten to around almost pretty much a foot of rain. In some of those southern regions down there, near like Miami, around 6 to maybe 7, 8 inches of rain in around 300 hours. Up here near Mobile and western panhandle of Florida, around maybe even close to, I'd almost say close to 2 inches of rain. Not 2 inches, 2 feet of rain. 2 feet of rain as well. And then the highest that we'll probably see maybe around 1 to 2 inches, but for the next 300 hours, so that's not really anything at all. And in terms of that, we actually do need the rain, because here is the U.S. Drought Monitor, and you can see that we actually are under a D0. It actually did expand into, like, let me see if I can pull out the counties real quick. Berkeley County, Dorchester, Orangeburg, Clarendon, the entire county of Clarendon is under it now. Williamsburg, Florence, Southern Lee County, Southern Sumter County, all of Calhoun County, pretty much most of Orangeburg County, Northern Bamberg County, Eastern Barnwell County, and Northern Allendale County is now under a D0, abnormally dry. So it's not a drought, but it is still abnormally dry and very below average precipitation for this week, or for since the last update came through. And speaking of that, it's also Sunday. So that means that we talk about this week's forecast for June the 9th through June the 15th as well. So we're going to move on and go straight to the weekly, and we're going to talk about it. So in terms of temperatures this week, we are actually going to be, well, surprising, above average this week in terms of precipitation. So again, nothing that we have not seen before. It's going to be still pretty hot out there this week as well. And then in terms of precipitation, actually it's going to be kind of a hit or miss, because down there in like the low country PD regions, or I should say the Charleston region and the PD region of South Carolina, will be above average, but everyone else will be either below average, including like the Midlands of South Carolina all the way up to the upstate of South Carolina, and the actual low country of South Carolina as well, receiving pretty much normal rain as we continue through this week. So, pretty much the closer to the coast you get, and that's pretty much the closer rain, or the closer chance you have of getting rain for on average for this week on average. So that's that. So let's talk to the audience, because I don't have anything else to talk about in terms of that. So let's talk to the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Tonight we were a bit late, but honestly, I wasn't too bad. Not the latest. But here is our chat. We have 4 chats today. My Nana says, hello, Jay, hello. Cousin says, hi, Joseph, how was your day? Are you enjoying your summer break? I am. It's been pretty good so far, even though I have already less than 2 months already. Other than that, it's been fine. Good evening, Weatherman. Good evening to you, and then good evening, Weatherman. I hope you had an enjoyable weekend. I love you so much, and so proud of you. Your whole family is proud of you. Love you much, Cheryl. Thank you so much for that. And I don't see anything else. So let me just refresh real quick. Obviously, very thankful for the supportive family that I have, and hope that they continue. Their decision, though. Their decision. I hope they keep supporting me, but if they don't, I mean, it is what it is, but they won't stop supporting me, so I'll be fine. But continuing through, let's talk about San Antonio, and then we'll talk about Raleigh, North Carolina. And if you weren't there yesterday, we're actually there. And we were talking about pretty much the forecast. Same thing we do for San Antonio, we'll do for Raleigh as well. If you don't live inside South Carolina and you watch this and you want to have your location heard, as well, because in the future, when I start getting more popular, I'm not going to be able to talk about all these cities. I'm not going to be able to go to Illinois and talk about Chicago. I'm not going to be able to go to Washington and talk about Seattle. I'm not going to be able to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and then Raleigh, and then San Antonio, and then Philadelphia, and then Baltimore, and then Miami. Okay, so if you want to have your location heard, please let me know. I think I'll do at the max 5, but at the minimum, I'd say like 3 or something like that. It just matters at what's happening. So if you want to have your location heard, let me know. And let's continue through Radar Omega, and then we got the models. So continuing to push this forward for San Antonio. Again, here goes that rain that we have. So you can see pushing in at around 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. We have downpours and showers pushing through. And then as they push through, they're going to pretty much kind of break apart a little bit. And then more storms push through San Antonio around 11 o'clock a.m. tomorrow, and then 12 o'clock. Very beneficial rain for tomorrow. And then that pretty much goes away. But then another round of storms may try to come through at around 5 and 6 o'clock, and then 7 o'clock as well. And that's pretty much all that I see in terms of that. So it's going to be a pretty rainy, pretty stormy day tomorrow, actually. We're going to go up here now to Raleigh, and we're going to talk about rain as well. And in terms of rain, around 10, 11 o'clock, you can see some more showers pushing through, maybe around 12 to 3 a.m. as well. But then after that, not really watching for too much rain as well, going through tomorrow and tomorrow night. Now talking about temperature-wise, move right back to San Antonio. Temperature-wise, I'm going to move my little thing backwards, and then I'm going to pull out my little tool that I use. wait for the little blue thing at the top to load, and we'll get started. Just taking a little drink of water. And then pushing this forward, going to tonight, lows around 78, around 78. Maybe actually around 74, but that's when that shower or that storm pushed in, so that's why it drops a little bit below. But for just tonight in general, around 78. Highs tomorrow is actually going to be only around 87, so a bit of a cool down as well, so definitely needed. Tomorrow night around 72 seems to be your low, and then going into around, let me see, that is Tuesday. At 2 o'clock, it'll be around 80 degrees, somewhere around the high 80s. Up here inside of Raleigh, North Carolina, where you were just put under a special weather statement for, let me see what that is, for a 30-mile-per-hour wind gust, so you got to watch out for that. If that shower does move through, shower or storm, it could actually produce 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts with it as well, which is not much, but it's still something that you have to keep in mind. Tonight, lows around 67 in Raleigh, and then tomorrow for your highs around 86. Tomorrow night, lows around 64, and then around 2 o'clock on Wednesday, it'll be around 85. And then in terms of severe weather, I'm going to kind of zoom my way out a little bit and go over here. There was just another severe thunderstorm warning for South Carolina as well. I'll talk about that in a second. But over here, inside of San Antonio for your severe weather, no severe weather threat for today or tomorrow, or pretty much for the day after that either. But again, just a thunderstorm can pop up tomorrow. Not really expected to be severe though, just your regular garden variety thunderstorm. And then you do have a chance of excessive rainfall as well going into tomorrow as well, so watch out for that. If that storm does come through, it could produce some torrential downpours, so maybe some minor flooding in some areas. Up here inside of Raleigh, I'm pretty sure there's no chance for any type of severe weather, but in terms of excessive rainfall, there's not a chance for that either. So, again, no severe weather, no excessive rainfall possible for you up there. And then the severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for South Carolina, that now includes, again, McBee, Bethune, Camden, Boykin, Sumter, Maysville, Lynchburg, and Bishopville, just got issued for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts that expires in 50 minutes as well. If you check out the max velocity, right now they're clocking around, I'd say around a good 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gust in this area. So isolated pockets of 60 cannot be ruled out for certain. So watch out for those as those push through. And if you look at the total track as well, let me see, I don't know why they're so far back, but it seems to be going kind of around this way. So I say the main thread, like Bethune, Bishopville, maybe even close to Hartsville as well, can receive some gusty winds. If you don't get rain, you could also receive some gusty winds as well as it moves through. But that's pretty much that. I don't have anything else. Let's see. Okay, you're right. I'm always going to support you, sweetheart. You rock, and I'm proud of you. Thank you for that as well. And that's it. So I'm going to head out. I do have to do my little rating thing real quick before I forget. I'm gonna get that done, get that out the way. And I'm honestly gonna probably rate myself higher than yesterday, just because I think that today, especially with the whole, pretty much with the whole weekly outlook, that's what it is. The whole weekly outlook. I do think that I I should get some better things with that. So I'm actually gonna give myself 9 stars today. Let me see if I can draw. Yes, I can. I'm gonna give myself 9 stars today, not 10 stars. 10 stars is where I think like that's the best I've ever done in a live forecast update like ever. That might be for that has to be like high like information, and then like not a lot of, kind of just like rolling through it, not really doing not really having any types of stops or pauses or whatever. Everything technology working as well, so and that's rare. But here's the radar, and we're gonna end off here. So, you guys can also leave your guys' star reviews as well if you guys think around. You could be from 1 to 10 stars. If you think I did horrible and you want to do only 1 star, that's fine. But if you want to do around 10 stars, that's also fine. So, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will be back hopefully tomorrow morning with another forecast update. Everyone have a fantastic Sunday evening.
Akio, just
Okay, please stop. Please stop.
Akio, just send him the link, man. Every day, we're going back,